The train station was never meant to be open at this hour. A single yellow light flickered above platform 3, buzzing softly in the silence. The digital clock read 12:47 a.m., frozen as if time itself had decided to stop moving forward. I checked my phone, but there was no signal, no notifications, no comfort. Only a blank screen staring back at me. The last train home was scheduled for 12:30, yet the tracks remained empty. I told myself delays were normal, but my chest felt tight. The station was unnaturally quiet, lacking even distant traffic or insects. It felt abandoned, forgotten by the world. That was when I heard footsteps behind me, slow and dragging, echoing far too clearly in the empty station. I turned around expecting to see someone, but the platform was empty. When I stopped moving, the footsteps stopped too. Fear crept in quietly, settling deep in my stomach. Something about this place was watching me. I had taken this train dozens of times before, but tonight felt different. The air felt thick, heavy, almost alive. The benches were cold and worn, carved with names, dates, and strange symbols. One symbol repeated itself everywhere. It was a circle with a vertical slash through it, carved deep into the wood. When I touched it, the surface felt warm. I pulled my hand away instantly, my heart pounding. That's when the train arrived. There was no horn, no vibration, no warning of any kind. One moment the tracks were empty. The next, the train existed. It looked old and rusted, blackened, like it had survived a fire. The windows reflected nothing, not even my face. The doors opened with a sharp metallic scream. No conductor stepped out, and no announcement played. I should have run, but my legs refused to move. Against every instinct, I stepped inside. The smell hit me, immediately dust, oil, and something rotten beneath it all. The lights flickered weakly overhead. Every seat was occupied, and my stomach tightened instantly. The passengers sat unnaturally still. Men, women, and children stared straight ahead, unmoving. Their clothing came from different eras, stitched together by time. A woman in a 1940s dress sat beside a man in modern office wear. A child clutched a torn teddy bear. No one blinked. No one breathed. I whispered a quiet excuse, hoping for a response. None came. As I walked down the aisle, I realized their chests didn't rise. Their skin looked pale and stretched too tight. Their eyes were cloudy, lifeless, like old glass left in the sun. My hands shook as I reached the far end. One seat remained empty, waiting. I sat down without thinking. The doors slammed shut behind me, echoing like a gunshot. The train began to move. It didn't glide forward smoothly, but lurched as if dragged through something thick. Metal screamed against metal. Outside the window, there was no tunnel, no city, no stars, just endless darkness, moving like liquid. My phone vibrated suddenly, nearly making me drop it. A single message appeared from an unknown contact. "You shouldn't be here." My fingers trembled as I typed back, asking where I was. The response came instantly. "On the last train." I swallowed hard and asked where it was going. The reply was short. "Home." The man beside me turned his head far too slowly. His neck cracked as his eyes locked onto mine. "You took my seat?" He sighed softly. His smile revealed far too many teeth. I apologized, barely able to breathe. He chuckled quietly. "You never know," he said. "That's how it works." The lights flickered violently as whispers filled the cabin. Voices overlapped, murmuring words I couldn't understand. A woman across the aisle pointed at me and whispered about my ticket. I told her I didn't have one. "Not that ticket," she replied, shaking her head slowly. The child with the teddy bear looked up at me, tears leaking from his eyes. They were thick and black. "You're not dead yet," he said calmly. The train jolted hard as a distorted voice echoed through unseen speakers. Next up, memory. The darkness outside the windows shifted into reflections of my past. Moments I'd buried, replayed endlessly. I saw my childhood fears, my regrets, my failures, and my losses. I collapsed to my knees, begging it to stop. The train slowed as a dim platform appeared ahead. A single door stood open, glowing softly. "This is where people decide," the man said quietly. "Stay or get off." I stepped onto the platform, and the train vanished instantly behind me. The door ahead creaked open. Inside was my apartment, perfectly recreated. Everything was exactly the same. In the bedroom, I saw myself lying motionless on the bed, pale, lifeless, wearing a hospital bracelet. A voice behind me explained that my heart had stopped, that I had been gone for minutes. I woke up screaming in a hospital bed, surrounded by machines and bright lights. They said I was lucky. 3 nights later, I stood on the same platform again, The clock still read 12:47 a.m. A bench creaked behind me. The man smiled. The train was coming, and this time I already had my ticket.